I'm Jade.
I'm Emily.
Welcome to the Gilded Age News.
The Statue of Liberty has just been completed in a joint effort between France and America. French sculptor Auguste Bartholdi created the Statue of Liberty from sheets of hammered copper. This beacon has been completed by Auguste Bartholdi and Gustave Eiffel, who designed the statue's framework. It was dedicated by President Cleveland yesterday and now stands on Ellis Island to welcome those coming to New York. Now to Emily.
Good evening. This just in, the Chinese Exclusion Act. American railroads have recruited about 250,000 Chinese workers. Many of these Chinese immigrants paid their debts, settled down, and began to work in other fields, often side by side. Other white and European immigrants.
And now to Bridge.
Next we have the story of Yuna Akiyama, a picture bride who was surprised when she first met her husband here in the United States. Picture brides are Japanese women who have been engaged and married to Japanese bachelors working here in the United States through a matchmaker. The men send their pictures home to a matchmaker and are soon paired up to a compatible woman and are married. The young women get issued passports and then come to the United States. In Yuna's case, as well as many other picture brides, their husbands do not appear as young as they did in the pictures they received. Most had aged due to years of hard work here. Now you may think that the bride could just go home, but that is not always the case, as the Japanese believe strongly in saving face and not bringing shame to the family that leaving one's husband would do. Also, many do not possess the funds that it would take to go back home. She had to go through a tradition and was happy to find that her husband, Hiroko, was a kind, hard-working, and honorable man. The picture bride tradition has now become very important because it allows these men here in the United States to find themselves a wife back in Japan and start their families here in the West.
Listen, Steve, I hear you. I mean, if it's up to me, right, we'd have the crocodile hunting 24/7.
Exactly. Every single time I do my bootlaces up, I'm staring death right in the eyes. How many baseballers are doing that?
I'm with you, that's for sure.
Crikey! Stand back, John. Have a go at the size of this beauty. I got him, mate.
Steve, don't.
Ooh, isn't he gorgeous? I'll have him subdued any minute now.
I'll catch up with you later.
John, give us a hand, mate.
Okay, thank you. Immigration to the U.S. reaches an all-time high. As the huddled masses continue to grow, builders decide to tear down single-family homes to make room for 5- and 6-story apartment buildings. The more immigrants come, the less land we will have to do due to so much new construction. New job opportunities keep showing up as westward expansion continues. Also, the ethnicities in the U.S. are more diverse due to attractions and pull factors for the Europeans. This leaves a question: should America keep expanding or be content as it is? Over here, we see the huddled masses and all of the immigrants.
Any spare change? I lost my shoe.
Thank you, and we'll see you again on Gilded Age News.
This just in. It's April 18th, 1912 at 2:20 a.m. The Titanic disappeared beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. On April 14th, 1912, the Titanic struck an iceberg, leaving very few survivors and thousands of dead. This has been the Gilded Age News. Good night. 19.
And now to bridge.
Next, we have the story of Yuna Akuma, woman, and our marriage. The young woman gets
So
Next, we have the story of Yuna Akiyama of the United States.
white and European immigrants. Here you go, Jade. Rich.
You didn't introduce her.
What?
You didn't introduce her.
Oh.